I would probably say more satisfying than last weekend. Just because it's been a lot closer in practice and we had more struggles. It's a more difficult track to kind of put things together. We've looked good all weekend, but we've not looked great, and we looked great in Zandvoort. So pretty means and kind of felt better out there today in terms of getting the pole, because it felt much harder in doing so, and that's always a great feeling to have. So I'm very happy, especially for a 1-2 is even better for us as a team.
Well, second is a good place to start. First would be better, but yeah, just didn't quite nail it in Q3. So yeah, again, pretty happy with where we are, and it's a long run to turn 1 here, and it'll be a race that's full of strategy probably, which is a bit different from Monza. So let's see what tomorrow brings.
A difficult weekend up until now, not many laps. Didn't have a great feeling with the car. I was behind Lewis in every session, Q1 and Q2, and just found a bit of a better sweet spot come Q3, and really pleased to be in third place.
Disappointed. Yesterday it seemed like it was a positive day. Today quite a bit less. I mean, P4 was the best we could do. But frustrating. I mean, again, I don't like fighting for this kind of positions. We are very close to first place, on the contrary of last weekend, which is a good step forward. However, it's not enough. So I really hope that tomorrow we can turn the situation around.
I think we looked like the whole session we were just 1/10 off. 1/10 off, 1/10 off, 1/10 off. Maybe even Q3 when the track time dropped a bit with the clouds coming. It went away from us. We started to pick up a lot of understeer, and I couldn't turn the car in the last 2 sectors. A shame, because I was quick in sector 1, but then I couldn't quite make it work around sector 2 and 3 with the understeer. Didn't manage to put enough balance on the car to get around them. But yeah, 1/10 off. It's what it is.
Lewis, it's so tight at the minute between the top 4 teams. Any kind of explanation as to why maybe you weren't able to get everything out of it today?
Yeah, because I'm not very good. Simple as that. I'm just not very good at qualifying.
But you just haven't suddenly got bad. Do you have the idea about?
I clearly have. I can't put a lap together, and it's unbelievably frustrating. But I'll keep working at it, and that's all I can do.
Just Q3 was very bad. On both of my tire sets, I just picked up a lot of understeer. So I couldn't attack any corners anymore. I had to back it out a lot mid-corner, and you lose a lot of lap time with that. So somehow in Q2, it wasn't that bad. I mean, I did a 0.6 at that point, and we were almost the quickest. I mean, we know our limitations, we know our problems, but at that point, I think we had it fairly under control. But yeah, I went into Q3, and the balance was completely out, and I don't really understand how that happened.
I think we have this disconnection with the balance, and I think at these downforce levels, it's even harder. I had a great run on my strop tire in Q3, but then I put the new tire, and everything gets really picky, really difficult.
It was a nice battle with the Haas. I think we were fighting with them all weekend. I think they have the edge on us in the long runs, but we seem to have the edge on them in the short runs. So yeah, really happy. We were always in kind of a good position. FP1, FP2, FP3, we always showed pace. But in some ways that adds a little bit of pressure into qualifying to make sure that you deliver. And during qualifying, we actually started to lose a little bit the rhythm, and the tyres started to not respond how we wanted them to. But the guys did a great job.
Solid to be inside the top 10, obviously to be behind Alex by that little margin, not ideal, and just lost it already in turns 1-2 on the new tyre. I didn't somehow make them stick every time with used new tyres. That didn't go well, so something to understand there for us, but all in all, happy.
I think every lap you do in Monza is a little bit random. Always you could have changed something and get better, so maybe a little bit better we could have done, but at the same time we were a little bit concerned into qualifying. Our calculations after the free practices, we were a little bit pessimistic, being like the 7th or 8th fastest team by our calculations. So yeah, to be P11 I think is good in terms of position, but we need to figure out how tomorrow be in the top 10 and score points.
Didn't really feel like I left much on the table, so yeah, look, I knew, especially after this morning, we knew it was tricky, to be in Q3. Anything can happen, obviously, come quali, but yeah, even Q1, we kind of just got through. So yeah, to get quite close to Q3 in the end, that was okay.
You know, it's very important to have a slipstream here, and you know, it gives you 3/10. I went out behind the two Alpines, and I think they bluffed us because they did a prep lap, and absolutely with the temperatures, it's not necessary to do a prep lap. So I think they just maybe they tricked us. So I ended up without a toe, completely on my own.
All weekend it's been very tough with the soft tire. So since FP1, every time we fit that compound, the car and the tire itself never seem to work. We always struggle with front warm up, rear grip. We've tried all sort of things in qualifying with a build up in Q2. And the best grip I had out there was on a used set in Q1, so it's quite confusing.
I think the car was working to a normal level, like how we were operating before Zandvoort, and that was quite unexpected, I would say. So yeah, there's a lot of things that we need to understand. That last lap in quali was a bit messy. A few things we didn't do correct on the switches, and not the optimal, on-track placement as well. And it was just a bit dirty, the track, when I went through, and lost a bit of time from that.
Pretty tough, and you have to understand what's going on. It's all throughout the week. It wasn't an easy car to drive, and we were able to close in that gap to the field, but straight away since FP1 was pretty far off, and this kind of still characteristic was there, so it's different across the car, so a lot of things learned.
Did you get balked on your final run and didn't get to complete?
Blocked?
Balked. Did Kevin go off?
Yeah, I got the yellow flag, so that cost me my second lap.
How did the car feel up until that point?
Not great. I think we've been on the back foot all weekend, so we'll see in the race tomorrow.
It is quite frustrating, of course. I was expecting more after FP3. We had a really good pace. And I had a lot to improve as well after lap 1 in Q1, so I think I was expecting a Q2 was very possible, and of course that little mistake that I did cost me the lap. So a lot of things to keep learning, a lot to understand of the tires yet, and it's a lot of things going on. I am getting used to it and adapting quite quick, but I still need to understand better many things.
Practice 3 was definitely more difficult than yesterday. It didn't seem like we made enough progress overnight. So we reverted some of the settings from yesterday for the quali, and actually it felt better. In the end, it was down to luck. I had a yellow flag on the last run in Q1, and that's why I couldn't improve. So unlucky, I think. Otherwise, we should have been through in Q2, and then it's a question mark where we would have been.
I would be in actually maybe P15, 16. My last lap was like 4.5, 5 times up, and then I think I had Hülkenberg going off in 7, somebody else going off in turn 8, and then Magnussen stopped on the exit of last corner. So yeah, I lost like 5-6 times last lap. Otherwise, actually it could be a good step improved compared to where we were this morning. So ways happier with the car, but another way just disappointed because obviously you just get caught in all the mess and rally driving. So.